are for the right-of-way acquisition, which is being spent. Most of it's been spent already to this date, so it's a little bit too late for that.
Thank you, Supervisor. Next speaker is Alan Valeri.
Good morning, my name is Alan Valeri, and I want to say thank you for coming to Willis, and appreciate you being here. I work in city planning, community development, and as you know, most of you know, I've worked for the county for quite a while. And I will say that planning has changed a lot in the last few years. And I think it's changing in recognition of just some basic rules about planning for the health of the citizens. And we used to make these elaborate maps and assign land uses to each place on there and put them up on the board chambers and say, here's the way it should be. And I think we're realizing now that land use should be integrated just like it used to be in the old days. You know, we're not rethinking, we're not really redesigning anything. We're just going back to the way things were when people had to be neighbors and people had to walk and talk to each other. And, one of the big things I think this county is in a good position to be, and that's independent, where a lot of other places don't have that. And I've seen in my kind of travels and conferences on economic development where localization and sustainability are really becoming the basic building blocks of the local economies. And we have I think, an ability here. We have a lot of resources. We have a lot of very talented people. We'll be doing our general plans and integrate some of this thinking into the general plan where we promote our local agriculture and really work with our local agriculture to produce a lot of the things we need and sell them locally. Value-added businesses where we bring these into our local shops and stores, and we have the healthy foods for our kids in our schools. I think it's possible here, and I'd like to see the county really work on that. I think we're in a good position to build this sustainability into our systems. And when we talk about national security, you know, what's more secure than knowing that the farmer next door grew what you're eating? You didn't come from some country who knows how long, how far away, or how much gas it took to get it here. I just think that this is a wave that's coming. You can see it kind of all across the country. I'm glad to see some of the things that we see in counties doing, and I hope we continue on that path together. We work in a partnership with all the cities in the county. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Flair. Tony Orr is the last speaker, and anyone else, please fill out one of these salmon color cards.
Well, like following the earlier speakers, I'm here representing renewable energy and the Mendocino activists for a sustainable economy. As you know, I'm currently going throughout the county. I've been before the board on supervisors. I'll be on the agenda for Fort Bragg on the 11th, the city of Willits. On the 13th, I have a resolution of support already passed out of Hood Trails, and that calls for the founding of the Joint Powers Authority, the Mendocino Community Energy Authority, which would answer many of these questions without playing transportation against energy. That's not what we're up to in government. Instead, we're looking for ways to take the identified issues our citizens are concerned about and find real-world ways to apply government to solving those problems. I'll be speaking later on the application for the wind tower on the coast. That's why I'm here. But I just want to say that I'm moving it forward, and I'll be back before the Board of Supervisors in the early fall. I hope with the four cities' resolutions and support to found that Joint Powers Authority. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Orr. Any other members of the public wishing for public expression? Okay, I'll close that public expression, and I will take a step back and invite Mayor Holly Madrigal to speak to us.
Thank you. I hope that I stepped away and didn't get my official chance to welcome you all to Willits. Some things are really put in town, and I think probably since last time you were here, a lot has gone on. Some of the highlights have been that our Kids Club project is finally under construction. We're under a bit of a deadline to get that done, but August 15th, if you have to be in the neighborhood, there's going to be a celebration at the construction site. I've been told it's not going to be so much official speaking as kids having fun, so it's not going to be a photo op moment.
It's not.
Right. I said that's sort of my cup of tea, so I'm excited about that. Also, we just recently at our last city council meeting approved the use permit for the hospital, so that is moving forward, and we're all really excited to have that underway. And also, our Chamber of Commerce is moving down, some of you may have heard, down to the railroad depot. So I'm hoping that that will bring some increased attention to that area of town. It's really, we just restored the building. There's currently still a fence around it, but that's to keep out vandalism, and we're working with them to put up something a little more attractive and less looking like it's under construction. Again, I just want to welcome you all, and I hope you have a good visit while you're here in town, and have a good week too.
Thank you, Ellen. I appreciate your comments. It's always fun to come to Willits and to Fort Bragg and to the other communities on the South Coast. And we continue to make that effort. Supervisor Smith and I started that several years ago, and I certainly enjoy these outings. We get out to meet folks out in the more rural areas that it's difficult for the folks to come to the city of Ukiah all the time for the meetings. So we enjoy that and hope to continue that in the future. Thank you. Okay, let's get on to some mundane business here. Next item is approval of the minutes for July 21st workshop and the 22nd board meeting.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Looking for a second. Second. Any discussion on the minutes or the motion? Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, passes unanimously. Let's move on to the two consent calendars. One is the regular and one is the air quality consent. To the board members, any items for separate consideration?
Just a comment, Mr. Chairman. Last meeting, I pulled item number 6, which was the agreement for the space for the grand jury, and I was just kind of surprised to see it come back a week later. I wouldn't think within a week that we have just researched all the options, in all of the meeting rooms. I was hoping that we could find an existing meeting room space with all the county buildings we have for the grand jury and not have to spend, $18,000 a year for space.
To the CEO, any comments on that?
Did you get the memo that Jill said for her extension?
No.
She has one thing that take a look at getting a copy of that.
They did do it.
I don't really, there seems to be no support here. There's no sense in me pulling it off. I mean, just disappointed in over 100 buildings we have that we got to rent space for our grand jury to meet when we have some real nice meeting space. I don't think that's the efficiencies in light of the turn down our economy that we should be moving forward. I think we need to find ways to save money, and I think that was, to me, that was a no-brainer that we could find an existing meeting room for our grand jury to meet. And not have to go to and rent an $18,000 a year office for space.
Supervisor Smith. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, you stated you didn't see support for this. You have my support.
Then I'll pull up the agenda.
I think the entire grand jury configuration has become very expensive in the last